Hey everybody, my name is Myers, Corp Cosplay, and thank you so much for coming back. We are talking again about the celebrities that I've run into at Comic-Cons and some stories that have arisen from meeting them and spending some time volunteering with them. And this one is a fun one. This isn't a story that specifically happened while I was there. I mean, the person told the story, but I wanted to tell you guys the story because as a big wrestling fan, this is a story that I didn't even really know about. The person we're talking about is Ted Dibiase, the $1 Million Man. He was at a con in the area, probably 2015-16, one of the first cons I was volunteering at. And he was at the table next to me. I was working actually with Mick Foley, who is incredible. If you're a Mick Foley fan, it is worth your time to meet Mick. But Ted DiBiase was next talking to the person who was working his line. And as a wrestling fan, I have my ears open listening to stories and stuff, and he was telling this volunteer the story, and I kind of just swung my head in and started listening as well because it turned out to be a really, really funny story. And the story he was talking about was when he first came into the WWE and he had the $1 Million Man gimmick. He was to portray the character back in the day, back in the 90s and the 80s. Whatever character where you kind of portrayed that. Today, we all know that wrestlers are just human beings playing a character on TV, but back in the day, they were to showcase that character at all times. Well, when you're the $1 Million Man, you are to go out and you are to act like the $1 Million Man. You are to pick up tabs. You are to wear the finest clothes, drive the best cars, and etc. And during the mid-90s, when the $1 Million Man was happening, Ric Flair came from rival promotion WCW into WWE. Well, you had two people. Ric Flair had a very similar gimmick as the $1 Million Man. They were more than happy to spend money. They were all driving the best cars, living the best life. Well, Ted was telling a story about when they were working together, and they were at I think they were at a restaurant, and everybody was there. And Ted was being the $1 Million Man, and he was throwing the money around and etc. And Rick was there as well, and Rick was saying that, no, I'm the nature boy. I should be picking up the tab. I should be, that's his thing. And Ted says, no, it's okay. I don't mind. Like, I'm the $1 Million Man. I should be taking care of everybody. And they were kind of getting into like a friendly discussion / argument about it. And it wasn't till Ted finally said, fine, Rick, I don't mind. You take it. You go for it. And Rick paid the bill for everybody there. From what I remember, the story was he paid for the entire restaurant, if I remember correctly. And it wasn't until later, I think the next day, that Ted told Rick, by the way, thank you for picking up the tab. You really shouldn't have done that with your own money. And Rick says, well, that's what you would do. You were obviously trying to do the same thing. And Ted said, no, I wasn't. I was using Vince's money. The owner of the WWE was basically giving Ted an allowance, let's say, or freedom to act like the $1 Million Man, and Vince would cover it. It wasn't coming out of Ted's pocket. So Ted was like, I should be spending Vince's money. But Rick thought that Ted was spending his own money. So in the end, Rick took it out of his pocket. But if Ted did, it would have came out of the owner of the WWE, not Ted himself, which I think is one of the best stories that I've heard, because I could totally see Ted just being, sure, I don't mind, Rick, use your own money. I wouldn't, but not saying anything. So that was a very funny story that I think after that Rick said, you know what, Ted, you take care of all the tabs for the next little while, seeing as he was using Vince's money. So just a little story that Ted told to us, and I was sitting there and I said to Ted, I said, I would just want to be like a kid in kindergarten and just sit in front of his table and just listen to him talk, because Ted had a whole bunch of fun stories like that. So if you like that, please hit the like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We got a couple more of these coming in the next little while. So my name is Myers Corp Cosplay, and take care. We'll talk soon.